Alrighty, good morning, everybody. Hello, hello. How's everyone doing today? I hope you're doing well, and I hope that you're ready for a fun day of gameplay streaming here live. How exciting. So, ladies and gentlemen, welcome. How are you? I hope I find you well. And I hope that you're ready for some fun today. Advancement in two different games, of course. One a new release, one a ongoing viewer's choice playthrough. Whew, what a day it'll be. Hopefully a good one, right? I hope you guys are pumped and ready. So, let us talk, my friends. Let us talk about what's going on today, shall we? So, first stream today, which is, by the way, Tuesday the 27th of April 2021, is a continuation of Nier Replicant. And some people have asked me already, what are my thoughts on the game? How do I think it compares to Nier Automata? Well, I mean, I'll say this. The game it's definitely an older game. You can tell it's about 7-8 years older than Nier Automata. A lot of the areas are a little bit more empty. People are saying, oh, you run out in the world, there's not really much there. You're right. There's a few enemies out in the way and a few items here or there. You know, a little bit more of an empty open world. Not to be surprising because, again, Jasper, get your hands... How dare you? He stole my seltzer cap. Give that back. Jasper Kitty. Give that back immediately. Give back my cap. He stole it. Hitting it all over the room. Anyway. How dare you be such a troublemaker, a silly, mischievous cat? How could you? That was silly. Anyway. Yeah, a lot of people have two major criticisms of the game. And the first is, what are you doing? You nut. Oh, my goodness. I'm going to give him that's it. I'm giving him pets right now. I'm giving him pets for being such a cute kitty. You're silly. All right, so anyway, my first criticism of the game is that the world is definitely an open world that's pretty empty. You're running around this thing, and there's not a lot to do. In Nier Automata, the open world is huge, but there's stuff everywhere. There's enemies everywhere. You stumble into quests and stuff to do. That doesn't seem to be the case, at least so far, 6 hours into Nier Replicant. It seems like the world is pretty much empty, and there's some combat, and there's a lot of fetch quests. But there's not too much going on in the realm of content in that regard in the open world. That's number one. Number two, the other major criticism is that the game, because it's reliant on fetch quests, all right, has you going from point A to point B quite a lot. Go get some mutton. Go find the dog that's missing. Deliver this package, right? And while you're doing that stuff, there is no fast travel. At least, yeah, I'm 6 hours into the game, and there's no fast travel. So there's a lot of going back and forth over the same areas. And I think that's kind of the major criticism of the game, is that it feels a little bit outdated. Of course, the game came out, 11 plus years ago? The game is not a new game. By any means, it's an older game. Sure, the graphics have been redone for a modern audience. Jasper, would you stop? What is going on with you today? The moment I start talking, you begin. That's it. Now you're going to get it. Now you're going to get it. Now you're going to get it, you nutty kitty. How could you? How could you? Arr. He's a knucklehead. He won't let me do pre-stream. Jasper Kitty will not allow me to do pre-stream today. He's all over everything. Look at this. He's attacking wires. All right, hold on. I have to go get his twisty so that I can distract him so I can do pre-stream, because he will not let me talk to you guys today. All right, hold on. Where is it? Jasper, where's the twisty up here? Where did we put it? Where the heck is it? Crap, where is it? Wait a minute. Is it in my office already? Hold on. Hyper. Oh my god, he's so hyper. Here it is. It was behind my chair. It was behind my chair the whole time. Here it is. All right, buddy. Come over here. Let's play. Good. I'll distract him with this twisty so we can actually do a pre-stream. Okay? All right. So let's talk. Let's talk. So, criticisms of Nier Replicant. Number one, open world, but the world is kind of empty. There's not much going on in the world. and there's no fast travel, and therefore, because the game is absolutely full of these repetitive fetch quests, it definitely makes the game, kind of tedious. Now, the thing is, I don't actually know if you need to do the fetch quests or not. They're there if you want to do them, or if you want to add content to the game, but I don't necessarily know that they're necessary to complete the game. Do you really need the extra experience and money from doing these fetch quests? The other thing is, the things that you would need, like, for example, you're raising money to get rewards. Well, the first major weapon you can buy is 18,000 gold. I've been playing for 6 hours. I don't even have close to that, So it's kind of like, here's your goal, but by the way, it's going to take you so effing long to do it that it's kind of, like, frustrating, So definitely I can see the game, much like when I played Knights of the Old Republic a couple of years ago. Well, actually, it was, a year and a half ago? The reason that I'm enjoying this game a lot is because you can see how it's a predecessor to Nier Automata. You can see how they took the things from Nier Replicant, all right, to make a more modernized game in Nier Automata. Same thing with Knights of the Old Republic. You can see, they took this element and they put it into Dragon Age or whatever, right? I like that. I like playing games that were predecessors to games that are more popular ones from the modern era, because then you can see how this studio evolved their formula of what the games that they were making, you see. At the very same time, I can understand why some people are criticizing the game the way that they are, because it doesn't feel like a fully modernized game. It feels like it's a little bit outdated. Well, it's funny because the graphics have been updated to be more modernized, so you got, kind of like PS4 era graphics in a game that kind of plays like late PS2, early PS3 era game. You know what I mean? So I guess we'll see what happens today. We're going to continue on, and the thing is, I'm excited. If you were here for the last stream, quite a lot of stuff happened. I fought a big robot boss in a factory. Then we caught up with this Kaine character, who apparently is infected with this rune curse, and fought a giant boss, right? And now Kaine has joined you. What it seems like, I don't know if it's going to be for the rest of the game or whatever, but it's joined you on your quest to go out and try to save, what's her name, Yona or whatever, your sister, who's also infected with the curse. So there's a lot, the plot advanced pretty quickly in the last hour of the stream that we played last time around. So I'm excited for more today to see how the plot advances even further. And by the way, Nier Replicant is the main and featured gameplay stream today, tomorrow, and Thursday. All right, now normally I would not play the same game 3 days in a row like that, but there's a very good reason for me to be doing that. It's because there's a new game coming out on Friday that's incredibly hyped, and everyone's talking about it, called Returnal. It's the next major PlayStation 5 exclusive. In fact, it's only the second PlayStation 5 exclusive, right? So everyone's excited to see how that game's going to turn out, and that's going to be a focus for me. Plus, Pokemon Snap, the new Pokemon Snap, comes out this weekend. So because of that, I know there's going to be other major games to focus on, and I said, man, since I have the opportunity this weekend, there's really not much else going on. Let me focus on Nier Replicant for the next 3 days and get as far as I possibly can. Maybe we'll even complete the first run of the game. I don't know at all how long the campaign of the game is. Nier Automata, I would argue one run through the game is probably about 15 to 20 hours, but that's just the first run. After that, you have to do multiple runs to see the alternate endings, and of course, the gameplay dramatically changes when you do your second, third runs through the game. It's not even the same game anymore, right? So I want to do it, get as far as I can in the next few days. If I do around 3 hours of gameplay a day, you're talking about 9-10 hours of gameplay plus the 6 hours already. So maybe we'll finish the first run through by the end of Thursday's stream, okay? Okay. So all this being said, I'm excited. I am. I'm excited that this game so far has been entertaining to me. You guys have, been interactive during the streams and helped me out with things that I didn't know. Like, for example, the game never really explains how to use items during combat, and the game doesn't really explain a few different things. You guys have helped me with it. So thank you for that. Let's keep it going, right? Let's keep it going, and let's see how the game unfolds over the course of this week, okay? Now, the thing that will change over the course of this week's streams is the late stream. every day I'm doing something completely different on my late night streams, okay? So tonight, it's going to be the continuation of Divinity Original Sin 2 on the late stream, 6:45 p.m. Pacific time. I just finished up a bunch of combat in the graveyard, and apparently I'm going to get some really good items for it, but at the same time, my party's dead. So I need to figure out how am I going to get these items with limited party members, or do I just fast travel back to town and try to raise money to buy scrolls to resurrect everyone and then do it? I don't know. I don't know. Oh, you rascal, you. You got me again. You surprised me. I don't know. I don't know what to do tonight. I'm going to need your help to try to figure this shit out on the late stream, okay? Tomorrow night, the late stream is going to be a chill stream of MLB. I've been playing this, on and off over the past week, and it's been pretty good. Last time around, I had some good progress on my first home run ever. I actually did a pretty good pitching job as well, and we had a cool, chill, interactive time. It was a good time, and I'm looking forward to more MLB tomorrow night. And then Thursday night, it's going to be more Black Ops Cold War. I'm currently using an LMG. I've not used a light machine gun at all up to this point. I started using it yesterday, and I was kicking ass. So I want to do more of that. I want to attach unlock the better attachments, excuse me, and keep going and see, see what else we can do. It should be a fun time on Thursday night, okay? Now, on Friday, that's the release of Returnal. So on Friday, will be the new release coverage of Returnal on the first gameplay stream. Excuse me. And then the late night stream on Friday will be my weekly throwback Street Fighter session. Okay? I'm not here on Saturday, but I'll be back on Sunday, and on Sunday, I'm going to be covering Pokemon Snap. Okay? So we've got a lot going on in the next week of streams. And then what's going to happen is, moving forward, the daytime streams are going to be a balance between Returnal and Pokemon Snap, and probably my second run in Nier Replicant. Okay? And the night streams, again, will be a balance between Danganronpa V3, Divinity 2, MLB, amongst other things. Speaking of which, I should say this, and I'm very pleased with this. Last night I played Danganronpa V3. 2 solid hours. We made big story progress. In fact, the story, in my opinion, is getting incredibly interesting. Because the people who are involved in this, survival game are basically pitting against each other. You got two different sides, and they're really kind of, butting heads at this point. So the game is getting more tense, and the plot's getting more interesting. And the good news is, we didn't have any issues. There was no copyright issues. There was no bullshit going on. I actually completed a Danganronpa stream without drama. I couldn't believe it. Although it was funny. When we first started playing, there was a blip in my internet, and people were freaking out thinking that I got banned from Twitch. But actually what happened was, there is this little AC adapter unit that plugs into a cable line that plugs into my wall, and that's plugged in my bedroom. That little box actually hey, Jasper Kitty. Hey, Jasper Kitty, stop that right now. Do not bite that wire. You're going to get hurt. That's it. You're in trouble now. That's it. Now you're in trouble. That's it. You're in huge trouble. That's it. I've had enough. Now it's time to pay the price. Now you pay the price. Arr! I brought in the twisty again. Now you pay the price. Arr, 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 arr. You're such a nut. You ready? 1, 2, 3. Here he goes. Runs into the hallway chasing the twisty. Okay, anyway. So anyway, what I was saying was there was no issues last night. Although the internet cut out during the stream, and people were freaking out thinking that I got banned. What happens is there's this little AC adapter box that sits in my bedroom plugged into the wall, and there's actually a cable line plugged into that. I have Comcast internet. Well, apparently if that thing gets loose or removed, all my internet goes down and my phone. Like, everything goes down if that's not plugged in. I never really understood what it's called, but I learned about this many years ago when I didn't have internet for 2 days, and Comcast came out here and said, oh, here's the solution. This is so stupid. So this happened last night. I guess my wife was cleaning and or rearranging stuff in the bedroom, and she accidentally like bumped the box and it unplugged, and it kicked out my internet for a bit, and everyone freaked out and thought that I basically was losing, you know, I was getting banned from Twitch or something, but that did not happen. Did not happen. Okay. So anyway, yeah, I'm excited for more Danganronpa, and I'm happy that now I'll be able to play it, because I was worried I wasn't going to be able to because of that supposed post on the Japanese Danganronpa Twitter account. Yeah, apparently the Japanese Twitter account says something about, oh, you can't go past Chapter 1 playing this game. The game's been out since 2017. I'm pretty sure you can't put out any enforceable, like, takedown rules when a full game has already been on the internet for 4 years. You know, I'm just saying. But anyway, apparently it was all bullshit. And apparently it might only apply to, like, a small group of Japanese content creators. It doesn't apply to a worldwide audience regardless, so... So, I was able to play it. I was able to have fun. And, it was good. It was a good time. So, hope that you guys will continue to join me for the Danganronpa playthrough, which will be on the late night streams moving forward as well. Okay? So that's pretty much it. The next week should be exciting. Now, excuse me. Now, I will be setting up a forum post soon. Haven't had a chance yet, but soon. Now, this forum thread will allow you to nominate games for my upcoming Retro Replay event. For those who don't remember, earlier this month, we did hit the subscriber goal here on my channel, even though there's no more subs anymore. That doesn't mean that it just negates everything that we did earlier this month. Okay, so, if you're interested, you're going to be able to head over to my forums on thekingofhate.com. You're going to be able to post up games that I've already previously done a playthrough of. You're going to nominate games. It's got to be a game that I either played in 2015 or earlier. So we're talking basically a 5-plus-year-old playthrough. Keep in mind that I've been doing playthroughs on the internet since 2008. All right? So, the reason we're doing this is because those games that I played a long time ago, number one, a lot of them, they were not direct capture, right? Anything, you know, early 2013 or before was done with a camera pointed at the TV, which is ridiculous, but that's how it was. I did it back then. Okay? In addition, it's going to be live streamed with interactions and a face cam, things that I never did back then, right? There was none of that. All my content back then was considered kind of offline content, even though some of it was live streamed. There was no interaction during those playthroughs, you see? So essentially, what you'll be doing is looking at older playthroughs of mine that you want to see me redo for a modern setting. For whatever reason. It could be maybe you feel the original playthrough was not so good. Maybe I rushed through the game. I didn't take my time with it. Or maybe it wasn't as entertaining as it could have been if I did have a live interactive audience. Maybe the visuals and audio looked like shit, right? There could be many different reasons why you would want me to go back and replay a game that I played from back in the day. However, if there's a game like that, but I've already replayed it, or a game that maybe already had a remake, then it's not eligible. And also, there are certain games that I'm going to eliminate. For example, Skyrim will not be eligible. Reason being, I'm already planning on doing a Skyrim playthrough, basically the year before the next Elder Scrolls game releases, as a way to build up, excuse me, my stupid allergies, as a way to build up to the next release. Same thing with Grand Theft Auto 5. Some people have expressed a desire to see me replay Grand Theft Auto 5, because I only played it the once when it released, and it's been many, many years. I do want to replay GTA 5, but I'm not going to do that until we have information about GTA 4. Excuse me, GTA 6. When GTA 6 is announced or whatever, then I'll probably replay GTA 5. You see? So, that is how I'm approaching it, and I hope that you guys are ready for that. It's not ready yet. I have to set that up over the course of this week. Every day it seems like I have other stuff that I need to do. Like the past 2 days, whatever free time I've had behind the scenes, I've basically been paying month-end bills. So hopefully I'll have a chance to set this up soon. Also coming up, there's going to be patron stuff that I need to do, which I'll talk about in just a moment. So, good stuff coming up. Good streams coming up. Retro replay event coming up. Keep in mind that once You guys nominate games. They're then going to vote on a poll on the most nominated games, and whatever game wins will be a full playthrough. And the premiere of that playthrough is going to be a marathon event, which I'm very excited for. Okay. All right. So before we move on, I'm just trying to think: is there anything else quickly that I want to cover or talk about? I don't know. There's really nothing going on in the realm of game release news today, but I did take a look at the schedule. So this Friday is Returnal. The Friday after that is Resident Evil 8. The Friday after that is the Mass Effect Collection. Now, it was supposed to be the Friday after that was going to be Deathloop, but Deathloop has been delayed until September. So there will be a week in there where things are going to slow down a bit. And at the end of the month, there's Biomutant. And Biomutant, I am on the fence about because I don't know too much about it. It seems to me Biomutant's going to be one of those games where, like, certain people will be hyping it up big time, but I don't know if it's going to get mainstream appeal. I also don't know if it's a game that will appeal to my audience. I kind of categorize Biomutant in with games like Wasteland 3 and stuff like that. There's definitely an audience for it, but I don't know if it's me. You know, and Wasteland 3 in particular, I'm glad I skipped because most people have said that there were a lot of bugs and issues with it. If you were a PC gamer, you probably liked it, but outside of that, you know, it wasn't a game that was like hyped up or super interesting. Okay, so I don't know. I'm debating Biomutant. If you guys have any more information about Biomutant coming up, and you know, interested in seeing me play it or not, let me know. Okay, I want your opinions on what I should do in regards to Biomutant, if it's a game that would be interesting for my streams or not. I don't know. Okay? Excuse me. I turned away from the mic to burp because I'm drinking seltzer water, so now I'm all carbonated and gassy. Okay? Alright. So, that's kind of the deal. I'm trying to think, is there anything else to really address at this point? Not really. So let's move right into the next segment, folks. Ladies and gentlemen, I would like to say thank you. In the last week, roughly, since I lost my partnership with Twitch for absolutely no reason, you guys have come out and been very supportive. All right? You guys have understood that the only way to support my streams is either to tip or to pledge to my Patreon. And Jasper Kitty, that's it. I've had enough of your antics. It's time. It's time for a rousing kitty suplex across the office. Here we go. Here we go. We're going to do it. Yeah. Rack, rack. He wants attention. He wants to play. He does not want me to do pre-stream today. He's had enough. He says, that's it. Pay attention to me and me alone. Look at this. He says, I am the kitty. I want the attentions. He won't let me do pre-stream today. He seriously won't let me do pre-stream today. You are a rascal today. You will not let me concentrate at all. I keep losing my train of thought because I bit my toe. He said, oh, you blame me? Take this. And he bit my toe. Come on, man. Come on. I've had enough of this. How could you? How could you bite my toe? All right, that's it. Hold on a second here. This is absolutely ridiculous. Can we do this? Well, I guess it's the best we're going to do because I didn't get it right. Jasper, come over here. I want to have you come on stream because you're such an attention seeker today. I want to have you come on stream. Okay? Come on, let's go. This kitty today. This kitty is such a rascal. Jasper Kitty, why are you being such a rascal today? Why are you trying to get all the attention today, huh? What is it? Now I'm giving you attention. Are you happy? I'm holding you nicely. Are you happy now? What's he doing? Oh my God, what's he doing? What's he doing to me? Ah! Ah, he's eating my beard! Ah! You are a... He's licking me. You're a nut. And I'm going to guess you just licked your butt, too. He probably just licked his butt, and now he's going to lick my face. He is a knucklehead. I know he's cute. That's why I'm holding him. He's a very cute kitty. And he's being very silly today. He wants all the attention. Oh, God, here he goes again. Oh, he bit my beard. He bit my beard. He chomped it. That's not kitty hair on my face. All right, he wants me to let him go down. All right. Ow, 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 don't claw me. He claws me. Oh, Jasper, you're a nut. Are you going to behave? Are you going to behave or are you going to continue to be a rascal? He bit my toe again. That's it. I've had enough. Oh, my God. You are a silly cat, man. Anyway, I just wanted to give him some attention since he was so intent on getting all of my attention. I figured why not actually bring him on the stream for a change since he wants my attention so badly today. And no, I would never throw him over my shoulder. I joke about suplexing him, but no, I've never suplexed my kitty. Never once. Anyway. Did he actually cut me? Oh my God, I think he cut me with his claw. Jasper, he did. God damn it. Come on, man. He cut me with his claw. Jasper, you don't know your own strength. He doesn't. He gets so worked up and so excited. And then he starts kicking wildly, and he doesn't realize that his claws are so sharp, and he cuts stuff up. He cuts me up, he cuts my wife up. All right, anyway, can we get back on topic now? Can we get back on topic now? Are we going to spend the rest of the stream distracted by Jasper? Very likely, yes, at this point. He is really... Well, now he's just laying on the ground, very cute, cleaning himself. So maybe he'll just give himself a bath for the rest of the pre-stream so I can actually kind of focus in on this, right? Oh, excuse me. That's absolutely disgusting. Okay. So anyway, guys. Let's talk. So, ladies and gentlemen, it was almost a week ago. It was actually, at this point, 6 days ago, when Twitch kicked me out of their partnership program for absolutely no reason. Because they never gave me one. All right? So, for the last week, it's been kind of an experiment. The experiment has been, can I continue to stream full-time on Twitch and make a living doing it without being part of the partnership program and getting any kind of support from subs and cheers, okay? So, initially, for this first week, here's what's happened, all right? You guys rallied. You guys said this is bullshit. Once again, people screwing with Phil for no good reason. And you supported me, all right? It went well. I'm not going to lie. This last week, things have gone well. You guys have tipped, and there's been a good group of people who headed over to my Patreon, which is at patreon.com/darksidephil, and they pledged for the first time. Now, this isn't a huge group of people that did that. It's a small handful of people, but it still adds up and it helps, okay? So I want to say, personally, thank you guys very much. All right? Thank you so much for your support. And thank you for allowing me to keep doing this. All right? Now, the question is, will I be able to maintain that momentum? Or is this something that was great for the first week and then it's going to die out? All right? So far, so good. But, admittedly, yes, I am nervous. Because I don't know if this is going to maintain. You know, right now, what we've had to do with these tips goals is, you know, double them up, and it's tough. I don't want to talk about tips all day. I don't want to talk about pledges all day. I just want to play games and have fun. But this is my business as well as my hobby. This is the way that I support my family, right? And I can't do that if half of my income is taken away from me when I didn't do anything wrong, all right? Even if I did do something wrong, still, if I had lost my income, it's detrimental. But the point is, nothing here has happened. It's just, boom, just take it away for no reason, okay? So, what I want to say is thank you for the support in the last week. Let's see if we can keep the momentum going. I hope we can. Because as I told you guys, I don't want to change stuff. I want to stay here on Twitch. But what I can do, and this is what I've been thinking about and talking with you guys over the past couple of days, some things that we could do to make up for the fact that the partnership's gone. All right, number one, I know that we've had moderators experimenting with Nightbot to see if we can run polls. And I think what Nightbot can do is run a poll over on Straw Poll and try to figure stuff out. Like, if we want to do a poll for the vest, if we want to do a poll for stuff on the stream chat, we can still do that, even though polls don't exist anymore, integrated into Twitch. All right? So maybe we could do that. Okay? In addition, it's come to my attention that if I do integrate Better Twitch TV or BTTV here on the streams, that even though we've lost the ability to use emotes on the channel, that apparently we could still use them over on Better Twitch TV. Now, the bummer with that is that Better Twitch TV apparently does not work on mobile devices at all. Apparently, it only works on desktops and or full-fledged versions of the site. It doesn't work on, say, the mobile app or anything like that. So someone watching my streams on my phone probably wouldn't be able to do anything with it. So that kind of sucks, right? But hey, anything is better than nothing, right? Anything is better than nothing. So I'm thinking about doing this. I'm thinking about integrating, taking my emotes over to Better Twitch TV, implementing those emotes into Better Twitch TV, and having us use them that way. Now, of course, there'll be a little bit of a learning curve because number one, I've never really used Better Twitch myself, don't know too much about it. In addition, I think we're gonna have all different emote commands. Like they're all gonna have to change, unless they do let you double up, which I don't know. I guess we could find out. So anyway, there's these things that I'm thinking of doing. I don't have a chance to do them yet, but there's these things that I am thinking of doing to try to at least bring back some of the functionality that we had on the channel, which seems like it's going to be gone for good. Okay? In regards to the partnership, yeah, I don't think Twitch is ever going to respond at this point. It's now been almost a week. I mean, the only response I got was on Friday. They said, verify your identity. So I did. It's now Tuesday, you know, and you can even argue, oh, it's the weekend. Dude, it's Tuesday. You know, I really just don't think they give a shit, right? So, at this point, it's basically just moving forward positively, all right? At this point, I don't even want to talk about, oh, do they respond? I don't care. It doesn't matter if they do respond. Obviously, I'm not getting the partnership back, so instead of dwelling on some crazy pipe dream that somehow it's going to all come back to normal, which it's not, it's about moving forward positively in other ways and trying to make stuff better, okay? So, we'll see what happens. But yes, these are things that I'm thinking of implementing. The thing is, I'm going to be pretty busy for the next couple of weeks, all right? So, for example, number one, like I said, I've got my month-end bills and everything. I just finally finished with all of those. I do need to set up the forum thread for you guys for the Retro Replay event. And then I got to work on patron stuff. And what I mean by that is there's a large group of people. I don't say large. I shouldn't have said that. I think it's like maybe a dozen people who've pledged to my Patreon for the first time in a long time. And I get the feeling that over the next couple of days into the beginning of May, there's going to be a lot more who are going to pledge to my Patreon. Because as you know, you can't sub anymore. And subscribing to my Patreon, or pledging to my Patreon, as they say, actually is a good way to support me because it's ongoing income, but it gets you perks. For example, Ask the King, my Q&A show, is going to happen in a couple of weeks. I believe I've said it for like the middle of May. You will get a question answered live on that show in depth if you pledge $20 or more to my Patreon right now. You see, you get a private Q&A video made where I answer your questions. And it's your own video to do whatever you want with. You can get that made for $50. So it's hilarious because people say, will you open a Cameo? I mean, I was doing private Q&A videos before Cameo was a thing. You know, years and years ago I set that up. You see? So, yeah, it's good stuff that you get there. And I hope many of you who do like the content that I put out and you support it, and maybe you were supporting it via a sub, would now head over to my Patreon and consider pledging there. Because a lot of people have said, oh, I can't tip, I don't like PayPal. Fine. Then please go to my Patreon if you like my content, and please support me via a pledge there. It helps out, man. It adds up. It may not seem like it. Oh, I can only give $1, right? No, you may not seem like it's a lot, but it adds up, man. It helps. It absolutely does. Okay? All right, so please consider it. And the thing is, I know that moving it forward in the next week, basically what's going to happen is a lot of people who have pledged to my Patreon are going to be owed perks. So I'm going to have to do some behind-the-scenes stuff for them. I'm probably going to have a lot of Q&A videos to do and stuff like that. I also am probably going to have to set up some people to have premium forum accounts. Because when they get the premium forum account, that's when they can post up their question to get answered on Ask the King. So I'm going to have a lot of stuff to do in the next few weeks, especially for those of you who are becoming patrons for the first time. And it should be good. It should be good. I'm excited to bring to go back to doing Patreon stuff. In reality, I actually really liked doing the private Q&A videos and stuff. I did. I like having that personal interaction with viewers and being able to kind of speak directly to one person on a one-on-one basis rather than speaking to a group. You see what I'm saying? I've always enjoyed that. And it kind of went away because I told you guys over the years, you told me you wanted me to focus solely on the streams. That it was all about sub goals and things like that. So that's basically what I turned the streams into. But now we're going to go back to a focus on Patreon stuff, okay? Aloof1 says, you should update your Patreon because the $10 and $20 perks are out of date. No, they're not. The $10 perk is essentially, number one, you get premium forum access, and number two, I'll give you a shout out when I do Ask the King. That's the perk. The $20 perk is get your question answered on Ask the King for sure. Those are not outdated. Those work. Now, I think the wording in it had said, oh, you might get a shout out in the weekend preview and shit like that. Well, there is no weekend preview anymore. It went away many years ago. But that's essentially the perk levels, okay? Okay. Anyway, so ladies and gentlemen, thank you in the last week for your support. Thank you for coming out and tipping me quite a lot on stream to allow me to continue to do what I love. And thank you for considering pledging to my Patreon. Some of you have. I get the feeling many of you are considering it. The thing is, as I've explained to you guys, the way Patreon works is when you pledge, you immediately get charged for that for that pledge. Excuse me. And then, on the first of the month, Patreon auto charges you for the next month. Okay? So, FYI, if you guys pledge today, you will get charged today, and that will immediately help me out, but then you'll get auto charged again on May 1st. And I just want you guys to know that so that there's no misconceptions. Not that someone pledges, and then, oops, I didn't know I was going to get charged again right away, and you end up with what you would consider a double charge. I don't want that to happen, okay? So I'm telling you guys up front about that so that there's no misconceptions and there's no issues with that. Okay? Now, if you do that, yes, you'll basically get double perks. For example, let's say today someone pledges $50, and they say, I would like a private Q&A video. Here's my questions. Great. Then, if it auto-charges you on May 1st, you're owed another Q&A video for the month of May. And at any point during May, you can send me questions, and I'll make another Q&A video for you. That's how it works. Okay? There you go. So please consider it. Patreon.com/DarksidePhil. Great way to support, but also a great way for you to earn stuff as a result of your contributions. It's also an ongoing way to contribute, much like a lot of people used to have an ongoing sub. So you can pledge and forget it and just have that ongoing support. Okay? Please give it a look. And you know, this is going to help me tremendously. Like I said, come May 1st, it's a significant source of income for me. It will help me out, so please consider it if you have not yet. Okay? Fair enough? Truck Rental says, why a Q&A video when you answer all questions through tips on stream? Very simple. Because when I answer a question on stream quickly, it's not the same as doing a private Q&A video. It's also not the same as getting your question answered on Ask the King. Alright? So, let me give you an example why. You just asked me a quick question. I'm going to answer it. It's going to take 2 minutes. I'm going to rush through the answer and move on. If you pledge $20 to my Patreon, there's a dedicated segment on Ask the King where I'm going to answer your question in depth. But it's only one question. If you pledge $50 to get the private Q&A video, this is a video where I'm speaking directly to you. This is a video where I'm going to answer a series of questions for you. Usually it's between 20 to 30 minutes long. And that's a video you could do whatever you want with moving forward. It's your video, essentially. You can keep it for yourself. You can share it with your friends and family. You can put it on the internet publicly if you want. You can do whatever you want with it. It's just like a cameo, you see? Except in a cameo, of course, sometimes people say dumb shit. That's not the point of the private Q&A video, okay? So that's the difference. During a regular stream, you ask me a question, I quickly answer it, done. Move on. Gotta keep the stream moving. Don't have time to have a direct conversation with you because I'm moving on and we're trying to do a public stream. In the Ask the King version, which is the $20 version, yes, I will dedicate time just to answer your one specific question on Ask the King, right? But if you get the private Q&A video, now it's your time. Whatever you want to talk about for 20, 30 minutes is up to you. All right? In fact, FYI, You know, people do this sometimes. They'll send me, like, I just got an email from someone. I haven't heard from them in a very long time. They just pledged to my Patreon, and they said, hey, I just want to get you caught up on everything going on with me. I'd like you to read this email and react to it in the video because I'm curious to hear what's going, you know, have a conversation between us about stuff going on in each other's lives. And people do that kind of stuff. You see? It's interesting. I like that. I like that it's more, it feels more personal when we're having a conversation back and forth about each other's lives and things going on, rather than it being just, oh, let me answer a generic question that someone asked on a stream randomly, you know? So there you go. It's that simple. It's very different. Okay. Dancing Monkey says, you previously mentioned a patron perk. Patrons pick a game to play on a condition the game you already own it. Is that in the card? Did you buy DLC for a selected game? We're not planning on doing anything like that right now. Why? I'm too busy. Right now we got 3 new releases coming out this week. I'm already playing one of them. We got 2 more coming out on Friday, and then a weekly new release coming out for the next several weeks. I'm already juggling like 4 to 5 downtime games. There's no time to play other games, guys. Unless you don't want me to complete a game for the next 7 months. There's no time for other games. All right? We got to focus in on the stuff I'm doing. Okay? I'm not saying long-term the answer is no. Long-term, once things calm down or whatever, but like we're literally heading into the busiest time of gaming in the last 6-7 months. The last time it was this busy was the release of the PlayStation 5. So moving into that much of a busy time, you know. All right, anyway, guys. So that's the deal. If you support my streams, all right, please consider pledging to my Patreon or tipping me during a live stream. The tips have been really helpful recently. And by the way, the rewards for tips have not changed. It's still $50 I put on the Gunner glasses and $100 I put on a vest. I actually directly addressed this last night on the late stream. Someone said, well, why haven't you changed that since you need to try to raise more tips during the streams now? Why didn't you make it harder to obtain those rewards? And the answer is very simple. I'll reiterate it for you guys since you guys are all here today. Just because Twitch decided to do some kind of a weird decision against me for absolutely no valid reason doesn't mean that I should be punishing my viewers. You guys didn't do anything. You guys have done nothing but be positive and supportive of me. So just because now my livelihood is changing doesn't mean that I punish my viewers and make it harder to do the things we've been doing all along. That would be ridiculous. That would be, in my opinion, that would not be the proper way to go about things. In my life, I've been mistreated many, many times. Unfairly. For no reason. Or for reasons that basically, you know, people trying to get ahead and use me, trying to step over me, hold me back, hold me down, for whatever reason, you know? And I would never do that to the viewing audience here, all right? I wouldn't. I absolutely would not do that. I feel that I've been mistreated enough in my life that I know how it feels to feel like shit because of that. And because of that, I would never act that way and pass that along to another person. So I'm not going to now say, oh, well, you know, because Twitch mistreated me, I'm now going to mistreat my viewing audience by making everything harder. I'm not going to do that. We're just going to have things as they were, you know, and just hope that you guys understand how serious it is that I do need to raise way more tips than I used to because I don't have subs and I don't have cheers anymore. All right? I hope that you guys will pledge to my Patreon because there's no ongoing sub program anymore. Someone also asked this question. This is a valid question. I want to reiterate it. Okay? If a significant amount of people who used to be an ongoing subscriber of mine here on Twitch now go over to my Patreon and decide to do ongoing patron pledges, all right? Then, if I'm in a much better position because now I have ongoing support via Patreon, then the answer is yes, we may not have to worry so much about the tips anymore. You see, right now I went from having full sub support, having full cheering to 0. We went from this to 0. That's not good, okay? And because of that, that's why I got to treat tips so seriously on every single stream. I have to, okay? But if people do come over and support via Patreon, and that's ongoing support, then yeah, I can stop being so worried about it. Don't have to bring it up every stream. Maybe don't have to worry about $200 hip skulls every stream, you see? But we have to get to that point. And right now, we're not even close. All right, right now, like I said, I think about a dozen people have gone and pledged to my Patreon in the last week, which is great, and I'm very appreciative of that. But that is certainly not, there was way more than 12 people that were subbed to the channel. Let's just put it that way. It was 900 people, okay? All right, so anyway, guys, one final thing. And then I'm going to do some shout-outs here for those who've contributed this morning. Shit, now I forgot what it was. I was right at the tip of my tongue. Fuck. I hate when that happens. Well, it is what it is, I guess. Damn, what was it? It was something I really wanted to talk about. Shit. How much for a triple vest? How on earth would I wear 3 vests at once? I don't think that's possible. Alright, anyway, let's just go ahead and let's just do shout outs. Okay? We start off with Snow Carl, who tipped me $1.30. First tipper of the day. And he says he doesn't want to cause controversy and drama, but then he asks a question that's specifically designed to cause controversy and drama. He does. Okay? Here's his question. It's a touchy subject. It's a trend of you being betrayed and let down by allies. It seems to have continued recently with Anonymous and now Twitch, and then old times with things like John and the Machinima and Curse. Do you feel like you can't trust people anymore because of this? The thing is it hard for me to trust people? Yes. I'm going to be honest with you. Yes. Every single time that I have any kind of a relationship now, right, I have to think about long-term implications. I have to think about what's the risk factor in putting my trust into someone or something, because sadly, people have let me down a lot in my lifetime. You know? A lot of people I gave the benefit of the doubt. I trusted their word. I believed what I was told. And then I just got screwed over for it in the long run. And that really sucks. It does. The good news is, there is a great person in my life named Kat. She's my wife. And I fully trust her and she fully trusts me. We love each other. We're married. We're happy. So regardless of the fact that if everything else in my life falls apart, at least I have her still, you know? And that's a great feeling. That is a really awesome feeling to know that someone has your back no matter what and is always going to be there for you. All right? So, at the very least, right? Even if everything were to go to shit, every relationship in my life were to fall apart, you know, my wife is still there for me. And that's a great thing. It is. It's a good comfort. It's a good thing to fall back on. I can sleep well at night knowing that my beautiful wife is there next to me to share my life for the rest of our lives, right? But yeah, I mean, being very honest, yes. Basically everything in my life I have to be skeptical about. I have to be, wondering, is there a malicious intent behind this? Is someone trying to say one thing and mean another, or tell me one thing when in reality it's not the truth because they're just trying to get ahead and use me? It sucks ass. It sucks ass to have to go through life being like that, but that's my experience in life has led me to be like that. It's not that I started that way. It's that people have used and abused me over the years to get ahead, and now I'm in a situation where, this happens on the regular. Well, it's like I told you guys. It's one thing if this just happened every once in a while, but this is a pattern in my life where it's over and over again. I get fucking mistreated, and it gets to the point where, like, it's just a regular occurrence now. If this had happened 10 years ago, I would have freaked out. In fact, things like this did happen 10 years ago, and I did freak out. Right? I definitely reacted very, very differently 10 years ago to when misfortune happened to me than when it happens to me today. Right? It's a very different thing. So the thing is, it just gets so commonplace, you kind of become desensitized to it. And I hate to say that. No one should be desensitized by misery. You shouldn't. You should not be so punch drunk in life because shitty things keep happening that you become desensitized to it. But I mean, at this point, I pretty much have, you know, like I'd be freaked out. But maybe the thing is, I've been around now for so long. I've been making content for the internet for 12 years. This has been my job since 2010. Okay. I've been around for so long that there's been so many situations like this one that's happened to me, but I'm still here and I'm still surviving. You see what I'm saying? So to me, it's kind of like, I know that I have enough support and I know that I have enough people backing me and they have my back that I don't have to worry. We're going to figure something out one way or another. Now, it might not be that we end up in the same situation forever. I very well may not be on Twitch forever. All right? I don't want to have to leave Twitch, but I might have to if it comes to it. But I know that those who truly support me and those who truly like what I do and like me as a person are going to come and follow me no matter where I go, and we're going to keep it going and we're going to make it happen, man. You know? So I appreciate that. I appreciate the fact that you guys back me and you guys support me no matter what happens to me. You know? And I hate to say it, but it really is, at this point, it's kind of like a whole kind of ultimate underdog mentality where it seems like life is pretty much determined to fucking keep me down, right? With all the shit that's happened to me over the years, it really does seem that way. Like, whenever I get ahead, I was just telling you guys a couple weeks ago, was it not 2 weeks ago, people were asking me, well, Phil, how are you looking now financially long-term and everything? And my answer was, I'm looking good this year as long as everything goes according to plan and I don't see a dip in income. I'll be able to pay my taxes every month as much as I'm supposed to. I'm going to be able to get to next year and not owe back taxes for the first time in many, many years. And it's going to get me back to financial recovery, which is what I need. My problem right now is I owe so much back stuff to the government that it's never ending. But because I got back to a good situation, all I need to do is maintain and I'm good. And then what happens literally within a week of me telling you that on stream, what happens? Fucking Twitch drops me from the fucking partnership for no fucking reason. It's like timed perfect fuckingly. You know what I'm saying? I just don't know. I just don't know. I just don't understand it. Okay? I don't understand how this works, but this is how it works in my life. All right? Like I said, you have ups and downs. I'll have a period of great things happening, and then all of a sudden something comes along to just completely break me 10 steps back through the positive shit that just happened. Right? So it sucks. But that's life. And I can either let this defeat me, and I can say I don't trust anyone. And I can say, oh man, I'm going to be paranoid for the rest of my life. Or I can move forward positively. And that's what I choose to do. I choose to not give up. Okay. Banished Legion tipped me $1.30, and he's talking about thongs. He's an idiot. So I'm just going to say thanks for the $1 tip. I'm not going to talk about thongs on my fucking pre-stream. And I'm going to move on positively. Josh Hustle and Cigars tipped me $1, and he's giving me a tip-off about vaccines. Yes, Josh, thank you for the tip. And I'm well aware that there are vaccines available. They're just too far away. Like, he's talking about one in Tacoma. That's like almost an hour away from me, if not further. My wife and I are trying to wait for there actually be a vaccine close to us so that we can maybe get it on a weekend, you know, have a day off here and go over and get the vaccine together. We don't have the time to be driving hours away to get this vaccine. So it's going to happen. Right now, everyone's getting it, right? But eventually it's going to clear up where there's going to be more availability. I would guess probably within a couple of weeks, I would hope. And we're going to be able to get it. But, you know, no giant rush. If we were in some giant rush, we probably would have just driven into Seattle because Seattle has had these group vaccination things every day for anyone who qualifies, which we do. But we're just, you know, rather just wait a little bit and just do it when it's more easy for us during our schedule rather than, oh, it's our one day off a week. Let's waste the whole day driving fucking 2 hours, right? Okay. Kaiser tipped me $1.30 and says, any chance of patron multiplayer sessions as a standalone number of patrons a month goal or even its own tier similar to a private Q&A tier? I've done this in the past. Back when I first started doing patron stuff, I had a patron multiplayer sessions, patron exclusive multiplayer sessions. And they worked for a little bit, but sadly they stopped working for two main reasons, okay? The first reason was there just weren't a lot of great multiplayer games out to play. And we ended up playing like the same old fighting games or the same old first-person shooters. Games that I had given up on, I hadn't played in months, but people wanted to play multiplayer with me, and it was kind of a waste because I wasn't actively playing them. So it wasn't like I was good at them or whatever. I was only doing it simply to spend time with the patrons. But the problem with that is, that takes away time from my streams. And right now, I've got to stream 6 days a week, full time, to make ends meet. Right now, it's more important than ever that I'm streaming that much to try to make up for the fact that I got kicked out of the partnership program, you see? So I have to focus in on streaming as much as possible. I can't now all of a sudden be taking multiple streams to be doing it just with patrons. Do you see what I'm saying? This actually leads into my next point. The actual logistics of doing an event like that is a major pain in their ass. Or pain in my ass, excuse me. Because, for example, okay, people want to play Call of Duty with me. But this person can only play on weekends, and this person can only play on Tuesdays and Wednesdays, and this person can only play late, but this person can only play early. And what ended up happening was, it became impossible for me to coordinate it. There were times when, like, I remember, like, because I used to do major events near the end of the year, and it was like, the entire month of December was a mess, because I had to play with a certain group of patrons one day, and another one another day, and it was just it was a nightmare. People were very angry because the streams were not consistent, because the timing was all over the place. It was just like, some people, it took me like 2 months to even get a game in with them. So the thing is, it just doesn't really work. It doesn't really work. If there is a set time, like, if, for example, here's how it could possibly work. If I set something up ahead of time and I say, okay, if you're a patron and you pledge $5 or more this month, there's a set time and date that I'm doing a multiplayer stream, and you will have an opportunity to play with me during that set time and date, and that's it. All right? If I set it up like that, then it would work. The problem is, I did try doing it that way, and I got negative feedback. People were like, oh, well, I wasn't available then, and that's not fair. I want to pledge, and I want to play with you, but I can't be there. So it just became too much trouble. It became like people weren't happy with the events. You see what I'm saying? Like, I tried it. It made sense at the time to try it, and it didn't work. In general, my general viewing audience, who was not pledging to be in those events, didn't enjoy watching the streams because it was like, it wasn't for them, it was for the people who had pledged. And they didn't like that. People like coming to a stream because they feel like they're going to get that level of interaction or something out of it, and they didn't feel like they were getting anything out of the streams. Okay? But on top of that, you know, the whole logistics of it, it didn't really work out. And people were disappointed when I was doing the patron stuff like that, so I stopped doing it. All right? I hope that makes sense. I'm not saying that I would never do it in the future. I'm saying I've been there, done that many years ago, and it didn't work out, and people were disappointed. So I don't know if I would bring that back again. Okay? Ryan tipped $1.30, and he's acting like he has no idea that I lost my partnership. I'm just going to ignore it and say, Ryan, thank you for the tip. At this point, if you aren't aware that for a week now I've been out of the Twitch partner program, I don't know what to tell you. Sand Carl tipped me $2.60. Thank you, Sand Carl. I appreciate that. Let's get that on the leaderboard. It's the biggest tip of the day. And that gets us up to $7 in tips so far today. Okay, I just received a $5 tip from Naffy Axe. And they said, I've been watching you since 2012. I enjoy your content throughout the years. There's a lot more options than just Patreon, like subscribe star or using the sub button on YouTube. Since you're not a partner on Twitch, can you stream to YouTube too? The answer is yes, I can. If I wanted to right now, I could stream to YouTube. Yes. The problem is I don't want to stream on YouTube. I hate streaming on YouTube, not because of the quality is great, but the chat is atrociously bad. It would be uncontrollable. I would immediately lose the discussion and connection that I have with my viewers if I go to YouTube. It's too much of a mess. Okay? Now, I'm not saying that I'm not going to go there. I might have to. If I cannot maintain enough support here on Twitch via tips and Patreon to make stuff, to keep going the way it is and you know, operate my business and support my family, then I might have to leave and go to YouTube. And yes, they have the members, which is the same as the subs, and they have the super chats, which is the same as the cheering. Okay? So I might have to do that. All right? I guess we'll see what happens. But for now, I'm trying to make this work here. Okay? Now, as for Subscribe Star, I don't know what that is. I've heard there's a few different services out there that what they try to do is they try to give you a alternative to, you know, the partner programs through Twitch or YouTube. I guess what it is some content creators over the years felt that excuse me, some content creators over the years have felt that businesses like YouTube and Twitch, they take too much of a cut from the support that you would get through those services. So I always told you guys, when you subscribed on Twitch, Twitch would take half of that. If it was a $5 sub, Twitch would take $2.50 of that. I would only get $2.50 for the sub. That's how it always worked on Twitch. So a lot of content creators were upset about that, and they wanted a valid alternative. And I guess things like Subscribe Star and other, there's like 3 or 4 businesses that kind of built themselves up as we're the viable alternative to using those services that take too much of a cut. Okay? So, yeah, I mean, I don't know too much about it. I would have to look into it. Right now, I don't want to have to use those services. Right now, what I would like to do is focus on, please tip me during a stream, or if you don't like PayPal for whatever reason, you refuse to use PayPal, please pledge to my Patreon where you don't have to use PayPal to do so. Those are the 2 avenues I want to use. If things go well, then we're good to go, and I can just keep going. Like I said, I'm going to try to implement emotes again here and all of that through Better Twitch TV and everything, but we'll see. For the first week, it has worked. Let's put it this way. For the first week here, things have been good. The question is, can I maintain? And the answer is, I have no idea. We got to find out. Okay? All right, ladies and gentlemen, that is it. Let's take a break. I got to use the bathroom, by the way. Let's take a break. When I come back from break, it'll be Nier Replicant continuing on. I'm excited, and I hope that you guys will join me for the fun. Thank you, and I will see you in a few minutes. Use this opportunity for yourself to grab a drink or a snack or use the restroom yourself, whatever you need, and I'll see you in a few for more Nier. All right, thank you, and see you in a bit.